seconds.
The title of this speech?
It's going to be the risk factor for cardiovascular disease.
Which is very appropriate after we played with our heart yesterday, St. Valentine's Day. So let's see how well we did. Let's welcome Deepak.
Thank you, Mr. Toastmaster, fellow Toastmasters, and guests. Do we have guests today? Oh, wow. Awesome. Last week, I was about to meet my friend Siva, and I was driving to the restaurant, and my phone raised. And it was Siva, whom I was supposed to meet. He calls me, I'm sorry, I can't make it. And he told me to pray for his brother who had a massive heart attack at the age of 38 and in the intensive care unit. Well, friends, in the US, the leading cause of death is cardiovascular disease. Every 34 seconds, not even a minute, 34 seconds, somebody has a heart attack or a stroke. Every 60 seconds, someone dies because of a heart attack or stroke in the United States. So today, my objective is to really talk about the biggest risk factor for cardiovascular disease, which usually we don't think it is, but it is diabetes. And my second objective is to talk about some steps that we can take to monitor, to manage diabetes, and also reduce the risk of a cardiovascular event, okay? Now, I talked to you about the facts. For those of you who do not know much about diabetes, it is an ailment that affects 30 million Americans, okay? And it's caused due to high levels of sugar in the blood, okay? The issue is we don't know that there is a relationship between diabetes and cardiovascular disease. But there is, according to the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, 1/3 of patients over the age of 35 with diabetes have cardiovascular disease, meaning they're taking statins, they are taking blood pressure medications. I mean, by the way, show of hands, how many of you know someone in your family or friends who have a cardiovascular disease? There you go. I mean, mine for sure. My mom had an attack 5 years ago. So it is there. The link is diabetes. Okay. Another fact, 70% of people with type 2 diabetes die because of a heart attack or stroke. 70% of patients with type 2 diabetes die because of heart attack or stroke. Unfortunately, the sad point is people with diabetes do not know, do not realize that their risk of having a heart attack or stroke is almost 6 times higher than those who do not have diabetes. Okay? With that, we clearly see the link between diabetes and cardiovascular disease. Now I want to actually talk a little bit about the ABCs of diabetes management. Some of you may know what are the ABCs. Anybody knows what the ABCs are? What do the A stand for? A stands for? No. B stands for?
My question?
Oh, yeah. Okay, let's go back to A first. A for A1C. So A1C is a lab test which measures the blood sugar average for 3 months. And the goal for A1C is below 7. That is according to the American Diabetes Association. So let's also be careful because the people who are older need not have that goal. Because the older you get, the risk of cardiovascular disease is higher, and so they kind of have a flexibility on how much the goal should be. It could be 8, 8.5. But in general, it is 7. Now, B is for blood pressure. Of course, American Heart Association says 140/80 millimeters of mercury. That's the goal. All right. C, cholesterol. What does that mean? It's the measure of triglycerides, your LDLs, your HDLs. So triglyceride goal is below 150 milligrams per deciliter. LDL, or the low density lipoprotein cholesterol, should be less than 100 milligrams per deciliter. And HDL, for women, it has to be about 40 milligrams per deciliter. For men, it's about 50 for women, about 40 for women. Did I say it right? About 40 for men and about 50 for women. Okay, that's the goal. So in essence, to conclude, I just want to emphasize that the relationship between diabetes and cardiovascular disease is really strong, and we need to take care of it. I urge everyone to know about the ABCs of diabetes, because that is going to make a difference in your life, in your family, friends, whoever it is. I mean, can I get a commitment that you're going to know about your ABCs? Yes. Okay, yeah. Good. That means I've done my job of communicating this message. And by the way, my friend whom I could not meet, I met him this past Monday, and his brother is out of the ICU, and he's doing better. And I urged him to know his ABCs. Thank you.
Wait.
Thank you, Mr. Toastmaster.
We never leave this space alone.
All righty.
I will wait until you come and start, and you wait until I come and take over. Thank you. Perfect. So our second speech. The title of Hassan for his speech is How to Be a Better Negotiator. Please welcome.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Toastmasters. Thank you, Toastmaster members and guests. So, as the Toastmaster said, the topic today is how to be a better negotiator. I have divided the speech in 3 parts. What is negotiation, and what are the good methods to be a better negotiator, and then the conclusions. So, the main thing so how many people in this past week were involved in the negotiation? Good. Actually, we all involved in almost every day in negotiation. The good result, the best result we get from our kids who do negotiation here and now, especially when they want candy. So, but in professional life or in our other daily life, when you are in the negotiation, so the main thing is how you assess the situation. So the first thing is assess the situation. First, you have to understand the issue, what the negotiation issue you are in right now. And you have to be prepared, you have to gather the information. So if you feel like you are in a situation where you are in the place where you have to negotiate, gather as much information as you can. Ask the right question. That's the main point of getting the information. That will help you along the way when you are dealing with, when you are negotiating actual terms. Also make sure, is it like a one-time deal or it's a long-term relationship? That also matters a lot in negotiation. Other side expectations, you need to understand what other persons are thinking. You have to be in their shoes to understand where are they coming from, and then what is in for you in this negotiation setup. What is in for you? What's going to help you? What you want from this negotiation? So what are the methods when you are doing this negotiation? So the first thing is focus on the problem and not the person. So first, keep your egos out of the door. When you are sitting in the negotiation, don't bring your egos on that table. It's just the problem, not the person. Second thing is explore the options. When you got the information, when you were gathering the information, at that time, you should explore more options. Not only for yourself to win the situation, also for the other person. Keep that in mind, that the other person also should feel that he or she is winning, not only you are winning. Develop target and walk away price. So you should know that what is your target, what is your goal, to what you are getting out of this negotiation. Other than that, is understand yours and their emotions. So don't ignore their emotions also, and understand your emotions also if you are emotional. Or don't bring the ego, but also keep that in mind. Be persuasive and be confident. When you are persuasive, then you can easily communicate your terms to the other person. So once you done with these methods, there is one more important thing is when you're creating options, create your PATNA. PATNA is the best alternative negotiation plan. So when, for example, it's plan A, plan B, plan C. That's what Edna is in the easy words. So when you are figuring out your options, make sure you have your plan B, plan C, and that you can use later on. Once this negotiation, you apply all the methods, then did all the homework, and so the last thing is you have to decide. So when you deciding, you need to see that are you close to your reservation price? Are you close to your target, or you are too far? If you are close, and if there's flexibility and there are other benefits, for example, if you're buying a car, yes, the price is too close, but there are other benefits. You're getting a warranty also, things like that. Again, the price isn't not everything. There are other benefits also. You make sure you cover everything, not just to focus one price or one point. Use your guts. Again, be confident, and when you are taking a decision, just use your guts and make sure that what your target is, you are achieving it to some extent, and make sure your opponent also is winning, is also achieving something and feeling better, and your relationships are not broken by this negotiation. The main important thing is once you're done with the negotiation, now the last part is the lesson learned. Again, I think it's everything like every time when we are in the project closing and everything, it happens that we need to learn the lessons. So lesson learned is what went right and what was the right thing and what was the wrong thing. What steps you took wrong and what could you do better. So which action was the better again, and what methods you could add or you could remove from this negotiation pattern. So I hope that my speech helps you next time in your negotiation. Thank you.
Have you ever had a job that was so unpredictable that every day offers you something fun? I work with aliens. I can see what you're thinking. How can there be aliens here? Well, as a matter of fact, Mr. Toastmaster, fellow Toastmasters, and honored guests, there are so many aliens that the English language has a special word for them. Teenagers. Everywhere. Teenagers, aliens, they are sent to rehabilitation factories. We call them schools. To help them make the transition to becoming normal human beings like us. For a long time, my job in this rehabilitation process was to teach them English. Now, I remember the first day I went on my first teaching job. I was pumped. I was carrying 2 months worth of interesting lesson plans, a binder full of fun and interactive classroom activities, and a Costco-sized bottle of aspirin. I was so inexperienced then. Now I know I need 5 bottles. The biggest problem I have with teaching is that these alien teenagers make me feel old. They speak a language I don't understand. Have you seen their writing? It's like alphabet soup, right? Once, I caught a student like this under his desk. So I confiscated his phone, and I saw that he was texting with one of his friends. The other person had written BRBTTYL. And his response to that was LMAO. I don't know about you guys, but that's not how I learned English. So I asked him, what does LMAO mean? And he was quiet for just a second, and then he said, I'm learning more as others. Oh, in my class. I was so touched. But of course, I'm an English teacher, so I had a problem with that statement. And I said to him, honey, you made a mistake. It should be learning more than others. So somewhere else in the room, somebody piped up and said, oh, so it should be with a T for tushy? Exactly. And all of a sudden, phones were beeping at every desk, and they were all texting each other, LMTO, LMTO. And they were smiling and laughing, and it was such a sweet moment. And I thought to myself, what a wonderful opportunity for bonding would it be if I could learn to write in code like them? So a few days later, I was returning essays, and a student said, Miss Allie, you wrote RODA on my paper. What does that mean? I didn't actually remember what that meant, so I said, okay, let's see what you have. Oh, run-ons on that. Alien? There is never a dull moment when I'm in front of the teenagers. Do you ever feel that they're distracted when they're listening to you? That they seem bored out of their minds? Don't think that that's because you're boring. It's not. It's just that they're really not thinking at lightning speed, and you would have to talk like this, look, keep up with them. And I can't do that for a full 45 minutes, and that's why they never paying attention. But you know, a really strange thing happens when they're the ones doing the talking. When they talk, their brains go into sleep mode. They say the dumbest things. I wonder if Shakespeare had a last name. For real. Now, let's face it, the mission for most teenagers is no school, no homework. So I always try to give them a little break, and I try to keep my assignments short and simple. Somehow, they always turn short and simple into stupid. One time I asked them, spruce up your writing and use similes and metaphors. Anybody know what these are? Similes and metaphors? Nobody remembers back that far? Comparisons. So I got a protest, and it went like this. The yoga instructor gracefully extended a slender leg behind her, like a dog at a fire hydrant. Now I know that this was supposed to make me mad, but I was celebrating. Yes, somebody got it. Most of the time I feel like their brains have some sort of force field around it. Nothing can penetrate it. No matter what I throw at them, it just bounces right back. Once a student said to me, I don't got a pen. Excuse me? I don't got a pen. At that point, I just couldn't help myself. So I said, I don't have a pen. You don't have a pen? He doesn't have a pen? What kind of messed up school is this? Ain't nobody got no pen. A lot of times when I tell people that I was a teacher, people would say, I don't know how you do that. So many adults came and told me, the youth these days, they're rude, they're selfish, they feel some sort of entitlement that they shouldn't feel. And they're just not what they used to be. Are you one of those people? If you are, I think you're wrong. I see something in these kids. I see us in these kids. Weren't we all young ones? And didn't we all do really dumb things when we were teenagers? We shouldn't forget that we were aliens too. They're just kids. honestly, when I'm with them at graduation, I'm so proud. And I'm so filled with hope. Because I remember how far they've come. And I see they're so close to being normal human beings. They're kids. Let's give them a break and let them be kids. Because they'll get there. They'll get there.